How's everybody doing? Anybody got any anything strange going on, as we say here in Ireland?
I'm tired.
You're too
It's been a
you're
full
too
day.
you're too young to be tired, man. You should
I
have all
know,
the
bro.
energy.
I'm worn the fuck out. But I'm still got energy for Zero. It's my first town hall I've actually been to, so I'm excited.
Oh, welcome.
This is
Zero
probably
zero
a big
zero.
one to be the first Zero.
Yeah, good shit. Good to have you, Cass.
Thanks, Irish.
An interesting one to start the first. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. All right. Well, whenever you're ready, Alba.
Yeah, I think like for example, like the recent event that transpired in the general chat, like of course, like there are like concerns and there have been like carelessness, but also like there have been also like positive that actually like didn't make the light because of the timeline and what we were intending for the future. I think like when it comes to the communication, there, for example, there are like some factors to consider. For example, we had the X phase before, which was stopped because Rolex for his time constraints, etc., etc. Also, like we had the Zero Galaxy show that we were doing, but we actually that got stopped because of the overwhelming work in the manifesto, and also like the council responsibilities. So actually, like there was a natural progression, like why the communication stopped. Which we look to address by bringing in like proficient like speakers and philosophy understanding and community favorites, which we done in bringing in like SL and Irish. And actually, like this Padlet, this was like intended before like 1 week ago, like to be scheduled for this day. It's not like a follow-up of the recent events. It was naturally like our steps to moving into a more transparent way of doing things. And I think like we haven't involved Zao as much as possible, like as much as we would want. Like one of the reasons is because we don't have so many like in terms of a tech. We are more like a philosophical in nature. Thus, we don't have percentages. We don't have token allocations for say like team working groups, etc., etc. So it's like a different Zao. So even its involvement would be like a sentimental or philosophical or in tech, but rarely in tech because we don't have much tech in our project slash culture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think like looking forward, we definitely like want to involve like Zao as much as possible. Like bring everything like so together that they feel like one body, one entity. So everything is like together. Also, like it's very important. For example, why does a group in council have to be like in custody or protecting the Zero culture and protecting like the Zero ethos? It's much better if we do it like all collectively with the Zao and the community, because in a closed group environment, like people can make mistakes, like and ideas can and yeah, ideas probably don't have the best filter. They would have the best filter if it's done by the entire community. And also like yeah, it's very close, like yeah, to bridge the gap as much as possible. Like yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think? Please share thoughts about, and let's take it from there. I would love like to give feedback and have a discussion around this because it's a very important thing. Very important thing. We actually like moved into this direction like within the council, like basically like 10 days ago. I said, guys, we should move as much as possible in public, like as much as possible transparency. That's even the ZWGs that we are sketching and we are looking to propose to the ZAO. It's like we want them to be like all opening in all working in public. Say for example, when I do the Zero Galaxy show, I just go in the Zero working groups. I open the live and I work there live, so everyone can join, give suggestions, and etc., etc. Like have a level of engagement that wasn't presently before, and looking forward to increase it as much as possible. The same thing with the socials and like people working in the social to increase the social activity and outreach, like doing everything like in public, like yeah, it is extremely important. It is extremely important. I think like one of the reasons, like one of the things like to have in mind is that we haven't like and this is not an excuse or anything. There has been mistakes, and I deeply apologize for that on behalf of all the council. But there is a reason there is a factor that we didn't know ourselves each other, like from before. We were like no friends before, right? We were no family, no co-founder, no co-worker. So we were a group of people like lumped together and trying to find our feet and how to represent the best of the community. It has been like something like 40 something days, like 40, I don't know exactly, but maybe right now like 43 or 45 days that we have been in the council, yeah. And I think like basically like combining the work and the effort we have been doing, and it actually like yeah, I think like we got so lost, like or I got so lost in what I was doing and everything that I kind of like yeah, like the communication side of things actually like yeah, needed more awareness around that, of course. Absolutely.
Yeah, it takes 90 days on average for an employee to become productive, because once he joins an organization, it simply just takes time to get adjusted to the culture, how people work, personalities, and so on. So we're halfway there.
And it's very important like to keep the community positive. Like it's all about like there has to be no individualism. There has to be like, it has to be like pure humility, collectivism, and community. Like some, for example, say some of the for example, like why were not like people like who left the council were not announced immediately. The idea was that if we go through a restructure and someone goes out, right, with no like apparent like Stonehenge reasons, we can, I think it's much better for the vibe of the community, like once someone else come in and we remedy the situation and then do the announcement about what happened, how it went, and what's the solution and how we tackled it, without doing like a serious negative announcement and then doing serious positive announcement. But in this process, if the Zer would have been involved much more, it would have made things much more easier, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, and there would have been less unawareness for the Zer when things, you know, were all brought to light.
Yeah, and
which,
exactly. Go ahead, Arish.
I was just going to say, which is you know what we're addressing here. So like in relation to what we're currently talking about is mostly this, you know, the lack of transparency, communication, and Zer involvement.
Absolutely.
And that's, you know, one of my roles being brought into the council was to kind of get events going, and one of the first initiatives that I took was to engage a meeting, a voice meeting for the council, and then also this town hall, because that's all part of the transparency. We need like a process where we ratify anything that we want to bring to the council, or sorry, to the Zer, you know, on the same day, and that's how it's planned. We have our meeting a couple hours before we do this town hall to make sure that anything that needs to come to the Zer is brought nice and fresh, and you know, elaborated on how it should be. And so yeah, I just want to like bring attention to like the involving Zer in big or small decisions, the involvement of the Zer making bigger. So like there was, you know, there were decisions that were made in this time frame that definitely could have included the Zer. One of those main concerns being the, actually, it's my bad, I didn't manage to list it here, but we have the amount of money that essentially was paid out for like retroactively for work that, or contributions that have been made by members.
Yeah.
Definitely, you know, could have been proposed to the Zer, and that's why we've listed here the solution to it, of all of the funds being returned to the treasury. And as you can see, the treasury is above 100,000. So there is.
So I just have a question on our comment. So one, I guess I got a couple questions here. So the first question is, what does the council see themselves as doing? Like, what is your guys' role, or what do you feel your job is for Zer0 or for the community?
Phil, you're running the policies and procedures. Do you want to take that one?
I can take it. It's not a. So it was like
Thanks.
it was.
Sorry, Albert.
Yeah, go ahead.
just looking for the mute button. But obviously, yeah, one of the key things that I address, being asked to join the council, is quite clear. Managing a company and managing community is no different. The first responsibility needs to be managing the asset of the community, and the community itself is the greatest asset. And then, the core things that we highlighted, exactly as Irish just said. So we pointed out, number one, there needs to be clearly delineated policies and procedures around everything. What is the council? What are the roles? What needs doing? And to that extent, we need to set up proper working groups. Secondly, communications, both internally and externally. And thirdly, treasury management. So thanks, Albert.
Yeah. Another aspect of the council is like representation. Like having to structure things. For example, the status of intent. Can we, Irish? Can we go to the statement? Yeah. So having how to maximize like the community engagement, and how to maximize like growing the Zer0 culture, and the vision about how to go around it, and actually like having the guile and the strength like to execute it with council members, community, and Zer0 working groups in a much more transparent way. Yeah, which we fail to communicate actually. Yeah.
What's going on, guys? I hope everyone's all right. Quick one. I want to quick 0000000.
Let's go.
Just one thing. This is very important. Yeah. So like, what was the qualm? Because in my head, if I was to like say, I've just opened my eyes, found out about this place, and also have a look, I'd be like, Meow was the crazy guy that kind of lit the spark. Julian and Rolex in my eyes, I might be wrong, but in my eyes were like, it was already busy doing things. There was kind of like hall monitoring it sort of thing. Then you had like a really bubbly characters like Tommy. Then I found out about Alba. Then you got guys out another like more organizational guys like say Martin that put the Discord together. Who do we feel like is for fault of the fallout sort of stuff of the Tommy and I forgot his name now, Tasty something. What was that the fallout about? Because someone told me like why they had bad taste in their mouth and they went to jump out. What was that about?
I think like for example like Tommy was basically a trivia, like a small thing. I will go through this scenario right now to give more context. Basically, like Tommy was not communicating regularly. He was voting, but it was fine. It was okay. It was, of course, acceptable. A community representative, very respected, to a very high level. Anyways, there was a vote which was divided like 4-by-4, and there was, of course, the community was the council was asked to give its opinion, like why, for example, we have this disconnect, and what's the reasons, and let's go through the perspectives. And I asked Tommy like, what's your opinion? He said, yeah, it's a stupid opinion. And then I said like, why? It was an opinion put by people, and a vote like presented by people and backed by half of the council. I said there is no stupid idea. It's a good idea or bad idea.
You lost me. Sorry, one second, Albert. What was the idea that was put? Stupid. What was that?
The idea was loading the treasury with Mokjuk to power the community rewards and the ZWG working groups and all like the efforts in the future. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was it.
Which I can say.
It was a trivia. It was a trivia.
It it could be a bad idea, but again, not a stupid idea. I hear you.
Yeah, it was a trivia. Unfortunately, I have tried to be as kind to him as possible. If yeah, as kind
No,
as
but
possible
Tommy said
in
in
the
the
afterwards. No, I have tried. There's not a single insult, and there is not a single insult, and there is not a single confrontation behind that. And
All right. So, what was the thing of Tasty? Then? What was the thing? Why did Tasty have a bad taste in his mouth?
I don't know. He would have to tell us. I don't know exactly, but I know that there are, for example, some disagreements about how this, not necessarily disagreements, but different like perspective of thoughts. For example, he didn't like how some people were posting like say the interaction how with Zeus went and everything. So he was always like very highly protective of the culture, like very alert. And I think like he felt like, okay, we are not protecting the Discord timeline as much. And also like yeah, I think because he always has been overprotective. If he would see a tweet that was actually like, okay, zero-ish, bullish, etc., he will always like always go to the council and bring awareness to it. Yeah, and the Discord and the form of expression, I have always like said to the council, let's keep it top notch. Let's keep it like let's have as much humility as possible for the sake of collective and everything. And I think that was the disconnect. Yeah.
We would all agree that the aim of this is like to make something cool and to have fun. That's the main objective of this, no?
And absolutely, and
Very much.
I feel extremely sad, and I think it could.
But you know what it feels like a little bit now? It feels like
Go ahead.
like a village council speaking about what color the curtain should be, and that it just kills the kangaroo. That's not the good vibe. So I feel like if you've got a guy that's overprotective, you let him be able to do that in a way that doesn't affect everyone, but still let him keep his strength. Tommy, he's got his own way of doing things. He's like the team mascot sort of thing because he's like that's the guy, cool guy. You let him be him without feeling like it's encroaching on your space. I feel like I said it to people in here from in the beginning. I felt like how characters are moving, it's gonna kill how this vibe is. Even with let's say to a throwback to Julian saying, yeah, Bond should be on the council. It made me end up saying, bro, I don't want nothing to do with it. Because what you find is if people notice people being like a bit like women with their handbags, they're like, bro, this is not for me, man. Do you understand what I'm saying? And it's good to be passionate about something. It's good to love something. It's good to be into something, but not to become like a parking attendant or like power hungry. It should be like, how can I help you? And then the other person's going to be reciprocal. Thank you, brother. How can I help you? As opposed to you can't do that, you can do this, and being like a hall monitor. That's like a bad vibe here. We don't want that. We want like everyone doing high fives and handshakes and picking your boots in the air and just on to the next thing. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll be honest. When I've seen Meow comment in the chat, I'm feeling a little bit like this is a bad look. This is a bit of an embarrassing look. Because this is what every other community is supposed to be like. Not guys that are saying there's zero.
Yeah, well, it is. It is embarrassing, you know, and I'll say why. And I, you know, people are gonna maybe give me shit for this, but I've always been, you know, this Tasty's like, I guess protectiveness probably comes from me, because when I was first interning him on the page, there was things that he was posting, and I would say, hey man, like we don't want to push this image. There's a very specific like culture that we're trying to spread here, right? And I think that like, you know, seeing Tommy drop out, I didn't agree with Tommy's actions. I love Tommy to death, dude. I really do. I didn't agree with him being upset. It appeared that he was a little bit drunk. I mean, I think he said that. Does it make it an excuse? No. But like we all make mistakes, right? So I didn't agree with Tommy the way he was lashing out like that, right? But then the Tasty thing is like something new. So it's like, it's very concerning when you see like key figures in our community that are stepping away from this and they're saying, hey, I don't want anything to do with this anymore. That's very concerning for me. You know what I mean? Like, so I think the big thing here, the elephant in the room is, you know, we talked about the council forming and being an unpaid job. This was to go unpaid. Nobody was supposed to receive a penny. The council was supposed to be decision making for the DAO or for the ZAO, right? They were supposed to be filtering in any kind of proposals that came in. They were supposed to be voting on whether they should go to a full Zer0 vote or not. And that's really what the council's job was to do, from my understanding, was you guys were supposed to be able to execute on Zer0 mentality and Zer0 culture for the entire community. And I feel like we've, I don't know, gone away from that, or we haven't, we haven't been doing that. It's almost like,
I think like the time of 40 days, like the window of that, I think like having into consideration that we were not like friends before, or co-workers or co-teammates, and having just a window of 40 days to do everything right, it's like a very small window.
Sure.
I think
the whole thing on any funds being moved out of that treasury. So like, if we did not have $100,000 grant and there was not $100,000 in the treasury, what would you guys be doing? We would not be focusing on trying to pay somebody or pay for retroactive. Look, I don't even want to be paid for all the work. I don't even consider it work. I did it for fun because I love this shit, right? And I care about a lot of the people in this community. But I don't like seeing that, like, now we see money in front of our eyes and we're like, hey, we feel like we should be paid for this, right? Which is fine.
Well, I think like it needs some context, right? Irish, can we scroll up a bit, Irish, please?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah, we do need context, and this is where I think you guys have already kind of identified a problem that there needs to be more transparency with this.
Yeah.
Like, for example,
the use of funds is not to pay council. That was not the use of funds. So I think let's let Alva provide the context.
I think, like, for example, like we came to a point, like for example, me and Mac and the social group and everything, like we came to a point that Mac, like there was so much to do and we were doing so much effort. But we came to a point that me and Mac, we were doing the manifesto, we were preparing the Zer0 Galaxy show, and we were doing the Book of Majuju together, right? And it was a proposal by Julian to pay like contributors, like by nomination, $1,500 for every 2 weeks, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. The proposal that is there. Anyways, and then I have people like working so hard, so much for 8 months. And in before, we always said that if we had the chance, we will reward them, right? Okay. We did say it in the Zer0 Galaxy shows. Like the appreciation and thank you is important, right? And why now be hypocritical when we have the chance to reward their efforts? Not in a fair compensation, because the grant is not enough, but in a respectful thank you, like a $500, like a $600, like a bracket for their monthly service. And I think like why we are looking to pay others to do the website, like from our own community, and shit in our own people who have been there for 8 months and plus. I think it's not fair and it's very inhumane. I think look, please let me finish. I think it was not immorally just to do like what the council did, but it was professionally very wrong and a big mistake not to involve Zer0 in it. And for that I apologize sincerely.
Yeah, no, it's not that like we don't feel like they should be rewarded. That's not the thing. It's like, if there are funds that are going to move in and out of that treasury, there needs to be a vote, unless it's like something that's for overhead, like Metrica for Discord or things like that. But just like taking it upon the council self to do these kinds of things without communicating it to everybody. But another thing I have a question about, if this was for people who were building, such as Cinco, such as Mac, because if anybody is getting, is getting paid, which I think goes against all of what we stand for here, or at least in my eyes, this is just my opinion.
Why
so? If anyone's getting paid, I think it should be Mac. I think it should be Cinco, right? But here's the thing, like, so I guess it brings a question. Why was Tommy paid? Why was anybody else paid outside of those two people? If it was just for retroactive work.
Yeah, it was a campaign. It was a campaign we started, like For example, we wanted like to reward the people like who has done so much in the past, like basically our heroes. You were included in it, and Julian was included in it, and the rest was to be included by nominations, like the proposal of Julian, but not to the scale of $1,500. It was like probably like in a scale of $150. The reason why you
Well,
can I finish, please?
yeah, I just want to comment on that though, because like, one, I never received anything. Two, Julie never received any. And
Yeah.
three, we don't want to receive anything.
Yeah, but that's exactly the point why I didn't send it, because I didn't want why we didn't send it, because I didn't want like to think like we are like piggybacking on the respect of you and Julian before having like the chance for you to give the opportunity for you guys to accept it and not just throw it on you and say we gave it. It's not like
Yeah, one second, Alba. So I think I made a point of this before. Like when we was at the Jupiter thing, the in real life event, Irish was there. SL wasn't there at the beginning bit in the beginning, but it was when the grant first got given out, we was there literally, and we sat at a table, and the conversation was very much upon the lines of, we're gonna dream with what we got. That money should just be like on the background for a just in case, a really blessed just in case, but no one should get paid for F all basically. Yeah, that's a zero mindset. Like if I'm a lawyer and you're a zero boy, I should do it for you for free because you're a zero boy. And this isn't that. This is like we're trying to build something here as fun, as something cool, and we've got one of the biggest buildings in all of the spaces that's behind it that wants to use this as this treehouse for refuge, not for like yibbering and yabbering. So again, if someone does some good work, for sure, it makes sense to pay them, but it's like, this shouldn't be turned into like you got some guys get look after the piggy bank and then dish it out as and when they want to, and then don't involve everyone else. That because you could be doing it with good intentions, and there's nothing wrong with it. Makes it look a bit slippery. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And you never
Exactly
asked
the issue we're addressing. Yeah.
Absolutely.
You never asked to like be the guys that want to take the lead in this sort of thing. Yeah, that can be like the council thing. I think you've made notice of the point before. You was like, bro, this is a lot of work. I don't want to do it. Yeah. Not in the sense of you don't want to, but it's like it's not like some deep like seeded. I'm owning this and I control it and it's all mine. No one's like that. Nobody owns zero. That's the whole point of it. You only own the zero mindset. That's a very important thing. But it means that if everyone's doing that from top to bottom, you don't have these bad feelings going on. And if they don't agree with what is done and we all agree with it, then they shouldn't be in the room in the beginning. Does that make sense? But I feel like we just need to get to that place. I think a fair point is said. This is very new. No one knows how to do it completely yet. We've not done it, but one thing we should not do is do what other communities have done. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Like, that should not.
And it makes total sense, and that's the whole point behind why policies and procedures need to be documented. It needs to be very clear for everyone. This is how the treasury, the funds, the assets of the community, again, the core asset being the community itself, this is how they need to be treated. This is how they need to be protected.
I want to ask though, like this is an important question for me, just so I know, because it's a bit of a head turn, and this is again, we should spend as little time as this is possible being in this vibe. It should all be aspirational building and cool stuff. This is like old women with handbags. We need to get past this and get it done, yeah. But I'd ask Rolex, when you think of what Zer0 was supposed to be, in like the most childish, most fun, innovative building sort of kid as you could think of, keeping that Meow in mind and how he can like vehicle this forward, what do you imagine it to be like? That's a very easy question to ask that I want to answer for.
Yeah, I just imagine us all doing cool, fun shit together. Really, like not making it so like. I know you guys want to have like procedures and stuff and all this stuff documented. That makes it super stressful, I feel like, and puts a lot of pressure. This is just my opinion. But like when I think of Zer0, like when I think of Zer0, I think of we need to all build this trust. And Meow said it, best in his last tweet, the PPP and trust. Like we need to all trust each other. We need to all be able to lean on each other and know that like we are going to protect this culture like to the core, like regardless of whatever the treasury amount is, it doesn't matter. Like for me, Zer0 is like a group of guys who don't give a shit about the token price or anything like that, but we more care about each other and like self-improvement. And like, yeah, like, how can I help you out without any expectations of anything in return? You know what I mean? So like, I get where you guys want to pay different people. Okay. I get that.
Yeah,
But
it
for
was
me, it's
compensation
just
for the
like-
past, Rolex. It
And-
was one
And so
time
why,
thing.
why are
It
we
was
getting
a
again,
one.
I'm
now
just-
about having
was a
different
one-time
expectations
thing.
about how the treasury should be managed? Because that's what
Right.
this comes down to. People are getting upset because they had different expectations about how things should be done, because it hasn't been delineated. It hasn't been discussed before.
Right. Yeah. And
now
I
we're
just
finally
don't-
discussing it, and now it's coming out that actually people had expectations.
Well, I think if
I
we're
don't
on
know.
this
I
idea
don't
of no, but if we're on this idea of counterculture, then it's just very simple, basic maths in your head to be like, we won't do nothing without asking everyone and their mum. That's very normal. It's like it's like walking into a sauna and asking people, would you mind if I put Bulbasaur on there? You ask everyone first. I think that's like a very basic like thing to think of. So if that's not done, it doesn't look like Zer0. Does that make sense? Then it's like if like guys that everyone sees as like a very Zer0 person says, fuck this, I'm out, it looks not Zer0. Then another guy says it, then it's out. Then again, to harp back on it, Julian was like, Bond, you hop in this council thing. I think your mindset is sick for this. And I got told, bro, he's not allowed to do that. Why is he doing that for? We don't rate that. As opposed to, Julian's our guy, man. We love Julian. If he says Bond's good at it, why not get him involved? Maybe he's got good ideas and he's got a good mindset for it. And I think I've had loads of them. But I was met with like some women handbag stuff. And I was just like, brother, I said, that's not my vibe, bro. This is not what I'd come into here for. It's kind of like made me come back a little bit. That's the wrong energy, lads. Like we want the energy of, if Alba says he's on it, I'm on it. If Rolex says he's on it, high five, let's get it done. If Aris is good, bro, let's fucking get it done. Unless it's bad and then we just tweak it a little bit. But not the same as what all these other like mouth breathing places do, where they have this little hierarchy weird thing where they think they're important. That you become unimportant when you believe you are. And you become more important when you think the person next to you is. I think that's what Zer0 is. Does that make sense? Unless I'm mistaken. Yeah. I think that's what Rolex was just kind of saying. And then building things along that with like a remote team around the world that you've never met before is a very sexy concept, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's a very sexy concept.
It's like we don't give a shit about what the fucking token price is, bro. Like we don't give a shit about that. If you need help, check this out. I loved how we helped out Lip. You know what I mean? Like recently, if you need help, you know you're going through a tough time, that's what Zer0 is about, man. Then we lift that person up, and we lifted him up, bro. Oh, yeah. Like everybody, like without question.
And
but you know what? Alex, listen, you're right about that, yeah. But here's what I'd say: that there's weakness in that. I think it's right. Anyone that knows me, I hope Irish could contest this. Anyone that knows me in the space can say, I look after people. We love people. We look after people. That's our thing. But when you can see in a room full of people that people are doing this little naggy, they're not strong in between themselves. I don't have to tell any of you how many scumbags and scammers there are in this space, and people that will come in and lean on that. And as you know yourselves, if you're a giver in life, you should set boundaries on what you give, because people that take set no boundaries. So even there's a weakness in that itself, you know. So like,
yeah, if Lip wasn't like such an OG, Lip was actually an OG. Like the day that Machi came.
I read that. Yeah, I respect that. I'm down for that. I'm saying when people can notice cracks in between your community, they can exploit that, and it's silly. Then you get people like, oh, whoa, you done it for him, done it for him. It just gets a bit silly. So as much as I don't like the procedure stuff that so I don't like SO, love SO, but I don't like procedures. Like you said, it makes it too serious and stringent. We need to have like core morals that we all stick by and get things done by. Like
exactly.
I don't need to worry. I don't need to worry if Alba decides something, because I know he thinks like me. I think like him is done. That kind of a way, you know.
Yeah, like we all have a good moral compass, and we all need to be acting in good faith, or trust that we are going to act in good faith to, one, protect Zer0 culture, but two, like, not just go and blow these funds, right?
No.
So that's the kind of thing that I feel like we just need to, we need to trust each other, but we have to build this trust, and it takes time, and it takes like certain situations happening where that trust can be built, as opposed to, this like closed off, like, and I know you guys addressed that already, or you're going to address it, but we just have to be I have to be able to trust that Ari is going to make a good decision on behalf of Zer0 culture and the ZOW. I need to be able to trust that anybody in this community is going to do the same thing. And we all need to be able to do that with each other. That's what Zer0 is about in my head. Like, that's where we really, like, you cannot break us.
Yeah.
Zer0.
And it's like, once we get to that point, then I think that's like where some cool shit starts to happen. and then we're having fun and we're doing this and we're doing that. Zero expectation, zero pressure, like zero stress. If somebody is stressed in the position that they're in on the council, that's not, I feel like that's not really fun for them, right? Like,
It's really not.
yeah,
really
it takes the fun away. And so for me, it's like, if there are people that need help on the council, you know, lean on the Zer0, lean on us. Like, ask us for questions, or you know, come to us and bring it to the light. Like, hey, look, I need some help on this, and then I will set time aside. I'm speaking for myself, but you know, like, I'll set time aside to make sure that I help you with that. You know, for example, Alba, you and I have had, you know, a couple calls, you know, where you're like, hey, do you have a minute? And I might not be able to get to you right then and there, but I set aside time so that you and I can talk. And I'll do that for anybody, you know, like in the Zer0 community. So like, what I'm saying is, like, we're here, we're going to work strong together, but we just got to have this trust and this like level of, you know, like a good moral compass, that like, we know that whatever anybody in this group is going to do, we can trust and be at ease. Like, okay, it's for the benefit of Zer0, or it's to protect Zer0 culture, or to spread Zer0 culture.
And again, not to protect your own ego or to protect your own place, because Zer0 means you don't give a fuck about that in the beginning. That's not important. What's important is, like, before you do something, what would PPP do? That's kind of like the mindset of it. Like, if PPP was a person, what would they do? And if the answer to that is what you're going to do next, you're probably doing it right. If you're unsure, ask your other brothers, and if you're completely nice not that, just don't do it at all. I think it's quite easy in that sense, you know, but I really want to get past this like little stage of interference, so we can get onto like looking for the proposals and seeing what to like press go on. That's the sort of stuff we should spend money and time and energy on. That's the stuff that's going to get us out there. Like, I've got like a boatload of stuff. I'm sure Irish has, SL has, a lot of people here I'm seeing have got ideas that's going to like really make us look good. Listen, when I went to Hacker House, people was moving a little bit jealous, a little bit, in a good way, of wearing the jumper. If they came in here today, they'd be like, these guys are idiots. It's not like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, this is not what it's going for. It's got to be like, as I said, sort of like, we're like a very special bunch that do not care about price, say it and mean it, are linked up to some of the biggest projects in the game, say it and mean it, have got some of the sickest builders in this space. Because do you know how attractive that idea is for a founder, for a high-level trader, for a person that's just doing anything meaningful in the space, down to the person that's just getting involved, to be in a room with people that are like, it gets stressed out, but we don't get too moved. And these are tools and a resource and a pool of people that you can come to and figure out how to like navigate this without becoming an idiot. That's very, very unique. I think there's a lot of people that mention it, kind of like they've got mental health channels in their Discord, but that's not their core USP. That's what we've got here, you know. That is very, very important.
I think, like, coming back to Rolex, like, we are moving like into a, like, we already like we're planning like to move, like, it was in a campaign that started like 10 days ago, to as much as possible like work in public and do and involve the Zer0, so that it actually doesn't have to be trust, where everything is be open for everyone to see and follow the project and the culture and how things are going, and that everyone can have a say, even in the most miniature things, like even if in the stylistic style of things. Because I think that if we bring all the community together, like in a way that it wasn't before, and I think we would, and I think, like, when it comes to egos and stuff, I think like humility is key. There cannot be a working council. The council would not have made 40 days of life without like being humble, humility, and to try to bring people together as much as possible, removing the risks, removing the removing.
To that point, sorry, 1 second. To that point, like, I know it's like a learning curve, but as I mentioned before, I didn't feel welcomed in the process. That wasn't humble. That wasn't humble. Does that make sense? And
which one wasn't humble?
I mean, in the sense of way, like, when Julian said, let's get Bond into that swimwear, he's sick, let's do it. That whole process wasn't humble. The words that were said to me back about, Julian's not even involved in this, he hasn't got no say, when to me, that's the person that is at the front.
No. Let's not go there. It's not. There was 7 representatives. It's not just one. I think it would have been communicated much better if the 7 people agreed like who would be next. Yeah, and not like one person, because it affected.
No, but I'm saying,
it affected the whole organization. Like it's not just one. I think
this is
I
the point, though.
I don't have the right to go out and I say, hey, I leave Rocky. You know, it has to be like no. It has the collective has to be considered. It doesn't work like that.
Alba, listen to me, Alba, 1 second, yeah.
Yeah,
You
go
see,
ahead.
even the energy of that, it's not even that
What
deep,
kind
it's
of
not.
what the
Like
energy?
you seem upset about it. It's not that deep. I'm just saying, if someone has a suggestion, the pushback on it should be like inquisitive as opposed to no, you can't.
Yeah, but the
This is not
suggestion
what-
was taken into consideration. I mean, the suggestion
Yeah,
was
but it's
taken.
not, I get it. I respect it. But I'm saying
And-
if I made a prediction that was what the vibe I was sensing, and since then what I've seen, it looks a lot like the same.
Well.
So I'm just saying.
No, it's a
I'm saying
progress. It's a progress. 40 days
I
are
get
not,
it. I understand.
and not
I'm
enough,
saying
brother.
good,
It's
but
not enough for the group. And the things that
I understand.
the things
As
were.
a suggestion.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just 1 second. As a suggestion, I'm saying there's people that are not vocal. There's people that are not Julian. There's people that are not me. And if they notice this trait in how, let's say, how you handled it or how Martin handled it, how people handled it, they will not want to get involved because it just doesn't look zero in the Beninging. It just looks like guys clutching on handbags. That's not what we want here. The vibe is to be like, if you've got an idea, Alba, and I'm where you are and you where I am, I'm like, get this guy up and let's pat him on the back and let's see what we can do. Would you say that's a good idea or no?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, so that means you have to live. Now, when you're saying humble, you have to live by the words you're using at that moment. As I said to you, it's not that important, but I'm just saying, like, in my mind, where I can imagine this being, and you've seen me with essays writing about it, no one puts time into ideas if they don't care about something. So obviously, I've put ideas into it because I care about it. Irish, he's a very prolific guy. He's put energy into it because he believes in it. Rolex is here. He's got scales. He's got other things going on. He's Jupiter Group. He's in here because I'm pretty sure he's got like a little attachment to this. You know what I'm saying? Cosmic, I've met him doing serious things in life. He's here. Millie, my guy, SL, everybody here is putting energy into it. Every single one's input should be appreciated, not knocked back on some sort of thing like, but that's not the way it goes. Rules is not how Zero is played out. We say counter culture. You know, so everyone, so I someone could think I'm wrong here, but I've mentioned this before. I think even councils should be cycled through. Anyone that puts their hands up and says they want to have a goal, the council member should help that person come up, have a goal, and it should be, no one should have like a permanent place. So they feel like they're in office forever, if that's what's important. Zero's like we want everyone, because someone that's quiet could end up being the person that gives us the best ideas.
Yeah, but
you know, like,
yeah,
and it, yeah.
So the council, there is nothing permanent in it. It's not set in stone. Everyone can open up a vote, and if they get like 4 out of 3 votes, and I'm out of the council. It's completely decentralized. I have I have nothing over it. Just a part of taking responsibility and accountability and having to face everything, like for all, like.
And I'll tell you, for everything you've done, I thank you for it. I make you right. You've done amazing stuff. No one can take that away from you. You're a legend. Do not take for any second in what I'm saying is that you've done bad in that sense. Yeah, you've done great stuff for it. You've put work in. You probably got a grey hair or 2 on top of your head that you didn't have before. You're appreciated, brother. Yeah, but I'm saying, I think one person that's like a complete and utter beacon of PPP. Julian's too busy. Otherwise, I would say him. Yeah, someone that's like should be a one person that like remains on it, maybe like just as like an overseer. But then every single community member should be cycled in and out if they choose they want to be involved to do this community stuff. So it makes them feel like they're involved, and there's not like a cabal. It's a very interesting point there. We jumped into crypto as an everyman thing. Crypto's supposed to be it's supposed to bank the people that haven't got a bank, give ID people that haven't got ID. This whole idea of like being a native, a nomad online and having your own assurances of who you are, sort of thing, yeah. But very quickly, do you know what's the sort of language that we use in this space here? We use words like cabal. We use like the words like the secret society, and people say it in jest, but they kind of mean it as well. So the biggest KOLs, whatever the fuck that means, the influencers of Solana, they actually feel like they have status by being cabal members. This is against what we're supposed to be in this for. And I'm imagining, I could be wrong, but maybe Rolex can correct me. Meow's got some of the biggest weight in this whole game, like as far as Solana and what this thing of ours, yeah. And he's addicted to the idea of it being everyone have a goal, everyone have a turn, and let's do it and be friendly about it and just kick it with everyone, like it's like an equality thing. So
And-
that means that we can't represent anything that's anything different.
Bull, you hit the nail on the head, man. This is exactly why it's so important that we succeed at what we're doing. This is exactly what the opportunity is that we have. We can prove that it is possible for a handful of us to come together from different backgrounds, from different regions, different languages, different skill sets, and we can put together a productive community that promotes the right ethos for how we ought to be operating as human beings and how we ought to be coexisting with that zero mindset. Nobody else needs to suffer for anyone to profit. It's actually when we all profit together that we profit best and we have fun together. And profit, I don't mean monetary, it's not about money. It's about having fun, it's enjoying life, it's having satisfaction of doing something good that contributes to the greater good. And so I get it. It's particularly frustrating that a couple guys clearly feel that they aren't being recognized. And I can't speak for what happened before. All I can say is that, yet we have a great opportunity in front of us, and it's up to us to make it happen. And don't get me wrong, and don't misunderstand me when I'm saying we have to have policies. It's not have to be laws and there have to be police. It's not that. It's we all need to be on the same page. And I think once the Book of Zero is published, once the manifesto is published, it starts to make life easier for everybody, because then it's clear it's on the same page. You know, zero isn't about when Lada. Zero is about the strength of being in the moment and being uninfluenced by ego, by negativity, by expectations and disappointment. Who gives about that shit? Like, come on, that's my personal frustration. Like, why are there handbags? Why are guys complaining? Like, oh, somebody said something. We said, I mean, I wasn't there. I can't comment on it. But like, seriously, who gives a fuck? Come on.
Yeah. I think all efforts, I'll make you completely right, by the way. So I think all efforts should always be reviewed under like, is it zero? Is it PP? Every single thing. That's it. Like, do you know what I mean? And it should be like something that we give the honor of asking like the quietest member in the group, do they think so? Stuff like that. That would be cool, you know what I mean?
That's
Like,
a community.
yeah,
That's what we have to look after each other.
Yeah.
yeah. Anyone that seems like, I don't know how to like look at it or how to gauge it, but anyone that's got some sort of level of involvement, they're active, you can ask them and they get to have like a say. So we put through their proposal, just something where everyone gets involved. Does that make sense? Like you watch news reels of like guys that work for Burger King for 20 years and they get like a silly little pamper bag or something, and then GoFundMe hears about it and gives the guy 800 grand in built up money. We want to be the GoFundMe's in like ideation wise of like the ideals of how we are. We don't want to be like the corporate guys. Like it's a lot of crypto guys are just people in their boxer shorts pretending they're corporations and doing it badly, and it just doesn't feel good. Whereas we got a chance to just be like treehouse guys. I've got access to like the world through crypto and just have fun with it. That is a much sexier proposition than pretending we're something that we don't even like, you know? I just say keep in mind to that for sure.
Yeah, like yeah, it's true. I think like the vibe, like it's not like before. I think like before it was a better vibe, definitely. I
We
think,
say more money, more problem.
I think like we can gravitate towards that by increasing the vibe and the communication and the community engagement and community involvement, like into a very high level, so everyone can be happy and everyone can be part of the collective, and as much as possible.
Also, as Zer0 said, like the
Yeah.
cause, like a community is nothing without a cause or a mission to go behind.
Yeah.
So that's very important. The manifesto and the Book of Zero, and and then getting the vibes going around all of that again, like it was before, is very, very important.
I think manifesto, for example, now after the chapter 0, we are in the chapter 1. And the heart of chapter 1 is manifesto, because it will defy our ethos for months and months and probably years to come. It has like our ethos defined. So everyone like will be able to read it, and everyone will everyone will have the chance to embrace it, and it's an amazing thing. It's something we have needed for so long. It was proposed like 7 months ago, and actually like the actual work, because the Book of Zero actually like, and what we did from the community terminology competition allowed us to get an understanding of how community thinks about it. And that's why everything like from that moved to the developing of the manifesto. which is in the very latter stages, just a small edits and a few touches. Yeah, and I'm very excited. We are very excited to show you guys. Yeah. Sorry.
And we have all the
Looking
other
very
fun
much
things, like
forward.
is stated in the chapter 1, you know, that come along with that we intend to have, like the ZSOs. I can't wait for ZSOs. Can't wait to see just a couple of other little, you know, like the Cats of Culture and Cadets over in
Yeah.
Jupiter, but our own unique version of it with like maybe separate little kind of roles. You know, like you have your ZSOs that specialize in Twitter, you have your ZSOs that specialize in making marketing content, you have your ZSOs that specialize in gaming events for the community, you have your, you know,
Yeah.
and then the Zeely campaign obviously leading you to the ZSOs and all that type of thing. I can, like, once it's all aligned and transparent, then the certainty will come of the vibes.
And I want to make one suggestion, yeah, Irish, yeah, just quickly. The same way when I was noticing before, a lot of us mentioned it, that there was guys when, let's say, for example, Meow would be in the chat, and some guys like Wen Lambo and Wen Pump and some
Yeah.
distasteful, stupid comment. It was kind of like,
Yeah.
Intolerable.
we don't want.
Intolerable.
Yeah, it was like we don't. Right, so listen to this, Albert. I feel the same when I look in the chat and I see what I've been reading the last couple of days. I feel exactly the same.
It's
I
understandable.
don't want it to be seen. I don't want to see it. It just looks very unsexy. So I'd propose that anyone got a problem, zero mentality is to DM that person like he's your girlfriend, have a chat with him, make sure you look after each other nice, and then come back into chat as if nothing was wrong. Not like in a
I
fake
agree.
way, in like a real zero sort of way, you know? Try and look
Absolutely
after the
agree.
other person.
And Bonbo, you just mentioned a policy, and that's the whole point.
Yeah, it's
we
true.
need to have understandings amongst
Yeah, I
ourselves
get you.
how we need to communicate
Yeah.
with each other. And you're absolutely
100%.
right. You're absolutely
100%.
right.
You don't. The family don't fight. If you're family, you don't fight. And I'd say Irish is doing a good thing with that the community stuff, because I feel like more time spent together on a personable level makes that sort of bond stronger. I'm gonna
Yeah,
suggest
builds bonds.
paintballing or something like that, so I can shoot a couple of you lot. We can shoot some
Can't wait
shots
to
at
shoot
me.
you in the
We
face.
work together, or we work as a team and shoot the opposition, whatever the case. Like just stuff that's like that, where you can see
Wait a
someone.
minute. I
That's
say,
my guy. Yeah, but money. Listen, money spent on stuff like that is memories. That was what another thing that Meow said was
100%.
important.
Yep.
Things that build connection. All this sort of like
Experiences and memories.
how much things you put in your GitHub or on your Twitter or how many followers you got is partially important. How the person remembers you and what you've done together is way more important. That's what all this will come down to. You know, so I feel like we put some money towards
Yeah, yeah.
stuff like that, like real life stuff. That'll be beautiful. I can't wait to see you again, Nessa, on the 27th of the studio next month, and whoever else is down in London. Like some in real
I'm
life
really hoping
stuff,
to
some
make it.
time spent together. Yeah, online with the ways we can do it as well. I was mentioning to some of the Jupiter boys as well. It'd be a good idea to have like whoever is into gaming, have a gaming team, like a online gaming team that they play games together and all that sort of stuff. That could be cool. Enter into competitions, just little things that put people closer, so you don't have this disconnect. You know, yeah.
Absolutely. And I think like this apology, like saying like, hey, I am sincerely sorry, you know, or sincerely apologize. I think it doesn't add value much. I think like what matters is the actions that follow after it. If the actions back the apology, then the apology is valid. If the following actions don't back the apology, then it wasn't done like in a good faith. Yeah.
Right, I say we forgive you, Alba, when you do a karaoke night and sing a song for us.
That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, like,
Hey.
we're gonna need a karaoke night, mate.
Zero
And then there's
karaoke, and you have to rap the Zero song when it comes
All
out.
is no rapping. No, that's we'll leave the rapping for you. But
Oh,
you
okay,
and SO need to do like a duet, and then once that's done, all is forgiven. Otherwise, I'm not your friend.
Send me location.
000.
Yeah, and like
0-0.
now about Zeely campaign. So Zeely campaign will be tied to ethos and manifesto. It will be a quiz, and it will lead to a role. The role is not yet defined. It will be defined by the Zer0 and the community at large. So we are thinking something in the lines of potato of culture and like go in the theme of Jupe or something like that. But the community can decide upon that. And like moving on to the ZSO, I think like this role like will be one of the most beautiful roles and one of the most important roles in our community. Like it will be like how we think. Of course, the Zer0 discussions will go around that, and there will be a Zer0 vote, and of course, I think like how we think about that is like being a connection of Zer0, potato of cultural, if approved by Zer0, and then a lock-in mechanism for a very long time, and that's proof of zero. Like, not like the proof of zero we had, like, no, not like the test of zero we had in Juke. This will be like the, say for example, the proof of zero. The definitions, of course, are for Zer to discuss and finalize. I think it will be a very like a special journey. It's a status of intent. This is not the roadmap or how we will do, or there's no roadmap. But there's a map. We have to have like a GPS locator to know like where we are, like where
And what we aim to achieve.
yeah, exactly. Not lost in the desert. Like at least like have some awareness of what we are doing. Yeah. Yeah.
Which is mainly spread the zero mindset. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, it
Well,
has
the-
me
the
thinking
ZF
like.
I'm sorry, brother.
No, you're good. I was gonna say, it has me thinking like, why don't we try to plan some like events, some IRL events, like with each other?
That's
Like-
what they were saying. There is one on the 27th in London, but yeah, we should do more.
Yeah, of September.
Yeah, 27th
Yeah.
of
All
September.
right. So
in
you
London.
like this Rolex here? So I'm in talks now for some guys that are putting together a crypto
Yeah,
only
Buzz has
event in
something.
Costa
Or,
Rica.
I mean, well,
Yeah. It's a dance festival in Costa Rica, and they're taking sponsorships for people that want to have like a stand at the event. So stuff like that, dance festival, crypto orientated. Anyone that's on that side of the pond, on your side over there, you can go over there, go Costa Rica, have a tan and represent Zero. That could be cool. No?
Yeah, or I was thinking like an annual thing where literally like we all just get together
Wow.
somewhere
I
Oh, yeah.
love-
and just
I
do
love
some
it.
shit.
Day zero. My day zero. Day zero's in London, bro. We've got that. Yeah, that's locked.
Yeah, because the thing is I fly back from Singapore breakpoint on the 24th of September, so there's no way I'm gonna be able to like
yeah, make it.
to make that one. But no, it's just things like this that I think it would just like, I don't know. I guess I see maybe it's hard. You know, I sit here and think sometimes like maybe it's like really hard for other people to understand zero culture. And what if this is just like a group of guys that met through mock jupe and we just create some really cool friendship out of it, right? Like we just like go and do shit. Like for example, myself and Julian met through mock jupe, and now we went on to do scales. There's probably other guys in here that meet each other, and maybe they go on to do something fun that they like. But I was just sitting here thinking, because like obviously like we want to make money, right? But the thing is like we don't care about like what the chart does. So my thing is like if we can all like bond together and like do some IRL stuff, really get to know each other, and just be that group of guys that aren't just friends on the internet.
Yeah.
I think I don't know, my mind is just going off, but
Yeah. It's
anyways, I just think that'd be some cool
yeah.
shit.
It's
It's almost like not working for our bags, but vibing for our bags, but not really caring about the bags.
Yeah.
But they go up if we're vibing.
Yeah, exactly. We're just chilling, having a good time, and naturally that's going to attract more people that want to do the same, right? And if we can go on to like build great things or to do other business ventures in life, or create some solid friendships out of this, I think that's like, I just think that'd be the coolest thing. Like, what if we just like forget about crypto? Like, we don't even talk crypto. We just like, I don't know, man. But I think if we can,
We
we
just
can do
talk
some, like,
life,
IRL.
zero philosophies, cool things, cool stuff, cooking, building, all that. Yeah.
Memery,
Yeah.
memes, fun, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think like for
Yeah.
example like meeting IRL, like it has a completely like a different vibe, like a different social powerful interaction. It has a lasting effect on people.
right,
It's much
like
more
create those memories,
and create those bonds, and create those
bonds,
Yeah, it's extremely important.
Well, that's why I suggest. I think being in front of each other, meeting up, and doing things together is going to form that sort of band and brother stuff. I mean, like assault courses like Wipeout. I don't know if you lot have watched Wipeout or like Takeshi's Castle. Stuff like, listen, seeing someone that you kind of like and they kind of annoy you sometimes, falling over and then having to help them up is a way to figure stuff out very quickly. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's a way to figure stuff out very, very quickly. Like,
You
like
fell
one of
on
them,
your
like,
face.
tough,
Up you get.
yeah, the tough mudder courses. Like I always do for my birthday. We go and do activities, events, and stuff like that, and it makes my heart smile to see some of my guys. I think they're very serious, falling on their left bum cheek. It just makes my heart smile, bro. Do you know what I mean? Now we can have a little chin wag afterwards. He's got paintball wounds. I got paintball wounds. It's just that cool, you know. Like you kind of like you've got like a different experience and the memory together. That is very important, bro. But when you were saying Rolex about what else we could do, my mindset is thinking way further ahead. Just as an idea, is that I want everyone that, like, even with the ZSO thing, that was only an idea where I wanted to like everyone to be such a good operator within crypto that they could go out and do like you could go out to a project, and if a ZSO or a Moon Boy or a Zero Boy, sorry, comes to your project and helps you out, they're going to make it infinitely better. They're going to help your community be less stressed out. They're going to give you like more PPP ideas. They're going to give you like rollouts of how to roll out your market and stuff like that aligns to how a real ZSO is. That was my mindset behind ZSO, along with the Pledge of Allegiance thing.
And
you know, like, so
it is on the manifesto, like champions who will champion like the Zero and PPP, like in Mokjup and
100%.
outside in the community. Like it's actually a statement in the manifesto.
And as well, a big thing I think is important as well is that like where we're able to do partnerships with other companies, leverage who we are and who we're connected with, which is important, which is not, it's not greedy, it's just like being efficient in a way, yeah. That there should be a case where like certain level ZSOs, if we do a partnership with a project, we get 0 fees for them. We get 0 fees using their project. We are their beta testers, like we are like very in-depth users. That was my mindset for what Zero Boys can be. That would be a lot of work, to be fair, to put it together. But once you have like a sign-up form for projects that want to come and get involved, and I'm not shitting you. I think if we do this right, which I reckon we will, so many founders are gonna want to be over here and in here, just like
Community of solid
picking the shit,
testers.
learning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Listening to Irish's sexy voice talk about some stuff, hearing Rolex giving some pats to the back and enthusiasm,
Boxing on the
hearing
bands
Albert
very
put some
cool.
stuff together. Maybe Scarlett can play us a little music. You know what I mean? We put it together. They'll be like, no, these guys are actually cool. I want to be in. This is what I want to be around. And then every ZSO or Zero Boy member that's affiliated properly, they might get 0 fees in certain places. They might get certain perks that you would not have unless you was in this good-hearted club. You want the good-hearted cabal, not the devious one. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. So we've been going for an hour now. That's usually what town halls are. But do we have any?
Yeah, I'm gonna need Tasty. I'm gonna need Tasty and Tommy on a good vibe and back in kisses and cuddles and everything made up and explain that it's all family. That has to be done.
Yeah.
would be-
One last remark on this. I think it's so important, like, to close the rifts and the differences in perspective that we have, and like at least like there's no expectations to hug each other, but a shake hand for the sake of.
Oh no, hugs. No,
Let's go
hugs.
Let's go hugs, no
Hugs.
kisses. Let's go hugs, no kisses. So
Go
it's
hugs.
like
What did he-
it's like to shake hands for the sake of the
Go hugs.
collectivity. Yeah. It's like to bring people together. I know there will always be differences, you know. I know the community. Like at least I think I know. And I know that there are differences in perspective, but we should, as much as possible, like try to bring these people together, like sit it out, talk it out. What's the difference? There is no evil in the community. There is there is zero such stuff. It's a very beautiful community that we have to take care. And like closing the rifts and closing the disconnect between people as much as possible is like something like we should all like focus collectively as a community. It's very important for the harmony and for the prosperity of Zero, like long term, to be healthy. Like it's
And to
key.
ask yourself, if you have to imagine PPP was a person and Zero was his first name, and say to you, what would he do? And if the answer to that isn't right, then you probably shouldn't do it. Just ask yourself that. And if you ever feel yourself getting a bit, because we can get drunk on this idea of I'm the one that's responsible for doing this, or I'm looking out for that. You can get drunk on that. If you ever feel like that, check yourself and ask someone, what do you think I should do? And then go along with their idea, so long as they're not a crazy person. that's the best way to figure out, you know, that you don't seem like you're just
Yeah, absolutely.
doing something with
isolated. Yeah, of course, it's very
yeah,
important.
yeah.
I keep in touch like with a lot of community members. I seek advice from mentors. Like, yeah, it's very important. It's very important. But I think like I think like moving everything like into more public and bringing the Zer and council together, like everything, like it doesn't have to be a responsibility like for say a single person or 8 persons or 7. We can share the responsibility of guarding Zer0 and developing Zer0 and exposing the beauty of Zer0 like in a much more collective, like the whole community together. I think that is a much more like
the ultimate goal.
Yeah, yeah, the ultimate goal and the safest way to go forward in terms of like protecting the Zer0 principles and staying like true to them.
And it's the best advertisement as well. But you have to remember, we have to be practicing it. If you're talking about it and not practicing it, you're the biggest hero on the planet. You can't be a vegetarian arguing with your friend about sausages. This is crazy. this is crazy. You know what I mean? Like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
So it's like,
yeah,
in real life, and I
have to do it.
The main objective should be like in real life event stuff. We should put some money towards stuff like that. I will say I do think that this festival thing would be good. But we have to have like a clear sign of what we are, what we've got going on, and all that sort of stuff. And if we do any kind of like, you know, when you got to these crypto stands, they've got like pens and pencils. No, we don't want nothing like that. Like, just cool stuff. If we was to do anything like that, focusing on real life events, ones for us so we can meet up in. Maybe like grants for like if you're in your own area, you're in the pond side, you guys can collect with a couple guys and do it, or bring some Zer0 mentality people in. And another thing that I think will be really, really sick is that once we find a way and we're getting in like some good numbers at some stage, this is not for now, but at a later date, I really want to do stuff like we have wells that we buy in different countries that are labeled with Zer0. That's it, just Zer0. Like stuff like that, like donations made to very beautiful causes that are boots on the ground, not Red Crosses where they only give you $1 out of every $10 you donate. People that are real boots on the ground, good-hearted, like angels on earth. We can find their sort of things and we donate to them under the name of Zer0. That would be really, really cool. Because I noticed that in crypto, people don't like to talk about charity. They ever feel like they're virtue signaling or like they're just greedy bastards. We are neither. We are neither. I think it's important that we do something along the line of that. Because I don't think there's any community to do it like truly, like that actually mean as well, you know.
Yeah,
it would be a very unique.
Yeah, and noble. Yeah, I think Irish, you also have an idea in those lines. Would you like to share with the community?
You're gonna have to remind me. It's 10 past 10, and
it's about the energy.
Oh, you mean to do with my what I'm passionate about, like electricity? Yeah. No, the Bumble is well aware of that. Yeah, no, I when it comes to Zer0, like in everything PPP, yeah, the idea of like free electricity is something that can be done through this project too, or at least like can be inspired from this community, kind of like how Rolex was saying, like, you know, somebody could get together and go off and do something cool. It's one of my passions that I've had my entire life that I seek to bring to fruition through this awesome community because of the energy that's here, like from a human standpoint, and to, you know, put that forth into like to bring a result from that of actually like trying to decentralize energy for the planet and stuff like that. So
yes.
Zero.
Sounds incredible.
And again, anyone that's got an issue in here, we all have like connections to something. It should be made available to each other for sure. You know what I mean? Anyone ever needs my ear to chew off or to say something to or to ask me about or any help with anything, DMs are open, simple. I feel like it should be the same vice versa in any way, shape, or form. Just build an actual band of brothers. If you don't want to be in a family, then leave, because that's what this is for. That's what I believe this is for. If you don't want to have like an actual family with people and like be like a person that looks after people, then do not be in here, because it's not going to be for you. That's what I want the message to kind of be here. You know? Yeah.
So we have some
and karaoke nights so Alba can sing.
And some karaoke to do. Yeah.
I'm a terrible singer, you know. I think I'll carry.
Yeah, we get you and Tommy on like some sort of duet song. I don't know. We'll find one.
I'm open to it. You know, I'm open.
I got you, babe.
My hand. Like my hand is open for everyone. Of course, I have no grudges, nothing. Like
And we'll get like a Julian and Rolex in the background as like kind of like doing the dancing, like the background dancing sort of vibe while you lot are singing. It'll be a whole thing, man. It'll be a vibe, man.
It will be something to record.
If Julian isn't sitting down when he's on camera, he's practically dancing anyway.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When he's in them cool standing up, he says he's standing up because his legs, he's not. He's getting his groove on, man. He's getting his groove on.
You're getting that movement in, Julian.
There you go. But yeah, man. Just a big mind of what Zer0 is. And then maybe in the proposals, let's put like a proposal in. I'll write one in now and just say like in real life event ideas. And just everyone just things they think would be cool.
Yeah, a repository for just to dump the ideas there.
Yeah.
And also on the proposal, something I thought of earlier is like that, like a bit more focus into like if the community posts something, but if it's just like kind of like not well put together or something, like the council can take it on board to try and define it better and to guide it to be a better proposal as well. You know what I mean? Maybe even redo the proposal, but actually start writing it out in a more defined manner so that we can actually act on it and whatnot as a community and things like that. So.
Yeah, live feedback, live on the proposal with the community together.
Yeah, but I mean, like if it's just like the general gist of an idea, but they haven't structured it, we can take it and structure it, and then
represent it. Yeah.
Anyway, that's up there. So anyone ideas, it could be anything. You can put bank robbery on there if you choose. Anything you think that's a good idea, that'd be a good bonding session. Slap it up on there, easy.
Sure.
Irish, you have what I think like you have considered like having like game events, also like a bonding sessions.
I'm still working on something like what I want to use as a game event for it to be very unique to Zer0, and I want to also make like a unique Zer0 game of some sort, even if it's like a text or a story-based type thing. I actually had an idea over in Jupiter that was something that I don't know if I'll use it. It could end up being used over here, but like some kind of like Dungeons and Dragons, but with the lore of Mockjup, or with the
well, you've got 100 characters from Shaman.
Right, Julian. Yeah.
Irish. Those are very good. Yeah.
Shaman has 100 characters already.
What of like? What you mean for the game? Like the different. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So like things like that, we could actually like develop the lore into an actual like storyline that then people play the role of while we're all in the voice chat, and someone's the game master and they just like lead the story wherever it's going. All these mojujus are walking down the road one day and a bus comes along, and what happens next, and we roll dice and we we just kind of go with the vibes of wherever that story goes.
Well, what's good as far as that return,
and they can be like sequels, and everything. So
yeah, for that return value, I will say like, let's say like with Rolex and Julian, what they've got with their project with this dragon, I find myself living my life and then having to be like, oh, have I fed my fucking dragon? This is what's going on now. I'm living my life trying to figure out, have I got enough time within a 24-hour period to get back to my bloody device? I'm kept a bloody dragon alive that I've not even met yet. Yeah, he's my baby. Yeah, so like, it seems like we've got things that are very childish that are cool, that are still keeping attention, which is cool. If we can have something that's like gamified, maybe not dragon, that's already done. You know what I mean? Let's not emulate like that. But I'm saying is in the sense of like something that is like makes people want to actually return to the scene of the crime and be like, oh yeah, look, I want to get back in with these guys again. Let's play that again. Let's do that again. That could be really cool, man. That could be really cool. That could be like in like a Call of Duty group. That could be in like an RPG game sort of group. That could be in chess or like what Irish is doing, or poker, or whatever the case may be. The only reason why I didn't want to do poker is because again, I saw every community does poker. The test of experimenting is don't do what everyone else does, which I mentioned to
Yeah,
you, Irish,
it's
before
also
as well.
the gambling that's associated with crypto in general. We want to keep away from. Like that's been like what I've kind of got
Yeah,
from
I
like
respect that.
Julian
I respect that.
pushbacks on it, and Meow feels like that as
Yeah,
well. And I've really kind of gained that
100%.
perspective myself now as well. I can see it
Yeah,
entirely.
yeah. So I think that's what I was mentioning to you, is that the whole counter culture. Don't just say it, be it. But it's also a really good thinking exercise of think of things that haven't been done, because that's like uncharted water, and you can be the person that kind of puts the flagpole down. So stuff along them lines there are really cool, man. Really, really cool. And I'm
Yeah,
down.
totally agree.
Whatever pops up. Yeah.
So what do we feel, guys? We feel like we've covered everything. My sleepy ass is getting very, very, very drowsy here.
Yeah, and if we're not, like the next phases will be like smooth following, so the communication will flow.
Yeah, we'll have the
Yeah.
exact same town hall, exact same time next week, and we will plan to have them going forward. If there's any kind of crossover with the community, like if there's any expression that, like, you know, if a bunch of people say they're missing it in the chat or whatever, we know we'll work on the time. We can swap it around. We can try and find the best time for the community. So
I think like best possible, like it's like two, one in the weekend and one in the
two
one in
town
the
halls. Yeah.
yeah. Just be there with people. Like whoever wants to listen, whoever wants to get engaged, whoever wants to get in the know, like to have the chance.
Yeah, for
of-
sure. That helps
Yeah.
as well to like hit all time zones too. So you can have one earlier and one later. So
Yeah.
But just again to reiterate the very important point, this is a treehouse, have fun and do cool shit, nothing more. We want to emulate professionalism, so we're not like monkeys with machine guns, which is important.
0-0.
But it has to be fun, or I don't want none. You know what I'm saying? I don't want none.
Yeah.
And then on the idea of how we felt when we saw people saying that Moonboy stuff and it felt cringy, I want each and every one of us to remember that's how it looks if anyone talks like a woman with a handbag in this room. It should be rebuked. It shouldn't even exist. Shouldn't exist. If someone even speaks to you in that way, just tell them, "Can I DM you, brother?" That's it. Can I DM you? That's it. And just don't engage. That's it. Because you look like a crazy person talking to yourself. You have to have a two-way flow. So if someone's talking to you in that way and you're not talking back, it's just gonna like slow it down as quick as possible, you know? And maybe sometimes people want that victory if there's like some sort of argument, they need the win, but just hop in their DM and say, start off with 0.
Yeah.
Yep.
No more of that in the chat, please, lads, man.
Yeah.
Zero.
The form. I mean, like there's many forms of expression of how one can express his feeling, and I think like some of the recent flow in general like was not like a proper way of expression concern. Like it was very disheartening, to be honest.
Yeah, but well, I'm not the best communicator. Impossible. You know what I'm saying? But as I said, if anyone,
but you are a great communicator.
yeah, but if someone gets on my wrong side, I'm no longer a nice person with them. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm a good person, but I'm not a nice person. But there's like leaps and bounds of how to go about it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think people's intentions are more important a lot of the time, but delivery also does get the water very muddy. You know, so like as I said, if it does get in any way kind of itchy, just hop in the DMs of each other and have a hug in private, as opposed to the family loses when the family feuds. You know what I mean? You don't want no feuds in public. It looks very weak. You never let no one else see the team arguing. You know, ever. That's even between us. It doesn't look good. That's not what brother stuff is about. You know.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello.
What's up, crap?
Right,
Oh,
he's
he's up, Michael.
away.
Yeah. It's,
Hot mic. Yeah.
And what are we gonna do about these proposals? Because there's quite a lot of them, and I feel like we're just collecting them like Pokemon cards at this point, and we're not playing the game. So
That's why I said before,
on?
like we'll put more focus on them, and we should put focus into helping them be redefined if they're good ideas and all that type of thing. So.
yeah. I think the first one will be like the goal, like the hallmark, like the biggest one, like will be like the manifesto will go like to be approved to Zer0. Like we'll go through a vote first. The community will decide, is this us? Do we embrace it after it's like finished? Yeah. And with that, we will have like the heart of chapter 1, and we can continue to fun stuff collectively. Hopefully, zero promises, zero expectations. Of course, it's important.
0, 0, 0.
Zero worries and zero doubt.
SL and
It's gonna
Ari, are
happen.
you not down in London for the 27th then? Are we doing it still or what? What's the crack?
Yeah, it's in the diary. We see it all.
Yeah? Scarlett,
Yeah,
are you
absolutely.
Scarlett? Are you coming down to London for the 27th? I see Scarlett down there. Maybe he's not got his voice on. Oh, and Tommy, oh, there you are. What's going on, Scarlett?
What's going on, man? Yeah, I'm coming, of course.
Come on, my brother.
Which date it is? Sorry.
That makes me need to
20
be here even more.
27th of November?
Of September.
Of September.
September.
Yeah.
In London, yeah. At the good old club, Louis.
Yeah.
In the same place that you guys were before?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was kind of agreed. It's kind of like a little bit of a hub for Zero.
Yeah, and a good
Yeah.
recollection, right?
Yeah.
Of memories.
But to be fair, Zero has no home, so it can move around. We can be gypsies a little bit, you know what I mean? It has no home. Just, you know, we're not planted. We're kind of, but it was definitely a very good day Zero. So we should return to the scene of the crime. But yeah, there is no hub. The hub is home is wherever the Zero boys are. That's where home is.
That's true.
We'll put it like that.
The club was a good experience, so let's
Very,
repeat
very
it. But the 27th.
A pleasure to meet you guys and to hear Meow's singing voice, which weren't that great, but his enthusiasm was all there. You know
And
what I
to
mean?
have nearly the whole club going Zero at one point, not knowing what the fuck they're saying it for.
No, they definitely no one else apart from
Yeah.
saying Zero. I won't
No,
lie.
no,
It
I
wasn't-
saw some people, like
I
in the later
I
part.
swear.
Yeah, because
I
they did it
swear.
again at one point, and it got a bit more, and there were some people just going Zero. It's like
We
they
done it
didn't
again
know
at
what
one
the fuck-
point. At one point, but we done like 30 times. We like spanked a dead horse. Like,
No,
we
but I'm
really
saying at
did.
one point when we did it, other people like
Okay.
fuck it. It was like it was near that time when the jazz band went around the place.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good.
That was really cool.
It was hilarious.
They were going around doing the cha-cha. It was great.
Well, it's
Tommy,
happening
you-
again at the end of this month, right? The end of September, September 27th.
You there, Ari?
Yeah, 20.
Yeah. I think that's the date, September 27th. Like,
That's it, yeah.
the boys are coming from Copenhagen. You guys are coming from wherever you are, Ireland.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
I can make it, I'll be coming from Ireland. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, just more of these, lads. It's been a pleasure. Let's do it again soon, man.
Here,
Yeah,
here, every
100%.
week.
I think we've covered
Yeah.
everything we need to in this week's town hall for sure. We've gone through just a little bit of a recap, I suppose. We've gone through everything that was the community's concerns and the reasons for why they were done and how they are a mistake and how we plan to propose the solutions. The money has been returned that was paid out without the the notice of the ZOW. So that is all back. We can now redo it with the notice of the ZOW and with their inclusion if that's what we want to do. And obviously we have chapter 1 all defined, the status of intent, what we intend to achieve as the council and as a community. So just to touch on it real fast, because we never went into it though, SL did ask us to add this in, and it is very good just to touch on so everybody sees it. A little bit about the Twitter engagement metrics. I'll give it a sec to load up because it actually takes a minute.
Yeah,
But,
thanks, Irish. It's something for us to touch on next week,
Yeah.
and we can talk about it more in the Discord. We're talking about working.
Yeah,
groups
we'll
and
bring
things.
it. Yeah, we'll yeah. So yeah, it's a teaser. We'll have that as a more detailed topic in the next town hall because it is actually very important. We have some stuff to talk on that about growing our engagement and whatnot and all that type of thing. So
Yeah, I will say that the actual visuals, and it's because it's my timeline, so I'm following, so I know. But in between the mock dupe, actual Twitter and SL and a few other really good lads, Tommy as well included. It looks sexy online to see Zeros pop up my feed every now and then on my day. It looks good. I like it.
yeah.
it. But I would say as well, as much as that is sick and well done, you guys, and I appreciate you for it. I think it's our deeds and what we do which will have those things getting more engagement. I feel like engagement's a good thing to look at. If you don't have it, you're dead in the water. But I feel like what we do and how we act will speak way louder than what we post. Or just as
Yeah,
as a tweet.
absolutely. Yeah, it's
so,
a combination of a number of things that we have to do.
100%.
You're spot
Yeah,
on.
100%.
Yeah,
The
real
meat
life
and the potatoes is what we
absolutely.
do and the stuff that we slap up on
Yep.
the timeline. Because think about this: apart from Bonk, how many projects do you know do in real life stuff in a big way? Just name them to me. I want to know.
Real apart from Bonk, real life stuff in a big way. Yeah.
Like Loki. Loki had their logo on a couple like teams in like Germany, and I've seen it on the red buses in London, this and that.
Okay.
Like, is that
Yeah,
what you're talking about?
On a human level, I think he was meaning.
Oh,
Yeah,
like
I mean, on the
mixing
human level,
together.
you can see like a picture of loads of potatoes, like for faces, and like, they've actually done something. And like, do you know what I mean? Like the ZSO's paintballing day, or like the ZSO's go kart, and the ZSO's shotgun shooting, the ZSO's party, the ZSO's island trip, like all of that sort of stuff. Where you don't really see a lot of that. So anyone that does that, like on steroids and we don't want to just burn through 100K on just having fun. Wouldn't be the worst idea, but it wouldn't be the smartest. But for like experiences and in real life events done in that way, that says way more than anything else. Because the story will go like this: test token, group made, meows down, really cool events, hoodies, merch stuff. These guys are building. That's how the story will go, and that we keep seeing elements of it. Whereas they've been in 100 projects since that have rugged, that are arguing, that are like that folding on itself, that are going through turmoil and nonsense and yapping, and they're seeing these guys that was meant to be a test token experiment with having fun and doing cool stuff.
Yep.
That will be the visual, you know. So
Yeah.
Also, before we get
And
off there, I do want to give you guys your flowers, everybody on the council and everybody who's been like pitching in. Like I do appreciate it. I see the work that you guys are doing. So I want to say, like, you know, Machip's like very close to my heart, very special, right? So if I get like, you know, if I get worked up about it, I apologize. You know, I need to practice Zer0. I'm still learning Zer0 every day. But I want to let you guys know that I really do appreciate you guys, everybody that's putting in work on this.
Appreciate you, Rolex.
Appreciate you, brother.
Everyone.
000.
Just like I did earlier when you appreciated everybody in Juba Juice, so I appreciated everybody in
Yeah, I saw that, Irish. That was dope.
and it doesn't. It's free and it has a massive impact. It just does. If it's genuine and someone tells you,
even
they
if it's
respect
putting
what
a
you
smile
do,
on someone's face because you gave them appreciation,
go.
that's a massive impact.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
100%.
There you go. Just more ideas, more good vibes, more implementation, less ego, and the reminder of that, like, I'm nothing but I'm everything. That kind of vibe is like kind of like the key to this.
That is
a little bit as
Zer0.
well, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is completely Zer0.
We are nothing
Yeah,
and we are everything. We don't experience anything without our consciousness. But what is consciousness? It's not really a thing. It's just energy. So it's like nothingness that gives us everythingness. So.
Yeah. And you know what could be a good thing as well? If you want to do something, like as the guys that you lot are like doing some stuff that's like a bit more up there, and you're not sure, ask the person you disagree with the most. Ask them, what do you think? That could be a really cool thing.
Yeah.
One, they'll appreciate it, and two, you're gonna get a view that's not you. You're gonna get a view from somewhere else. That could be a really Zer0 practice. You know what I mean? Because you kind of disarm the person that goes against you when you ask them for their opinion. I'd say, you know. Yeah, that could be a vibe as well. But yeah. Because what we could end up having is just like a circle jerk and a popularity contest where you put a proposal through it and everyone that's got the most friends ends up getting their one gone through.
Yeah.
And someone else doesn't get their one gone through because they might be like not as inclusive sort of thing. That we don't want. Best ideas win, most
That's a lot of
wins.
exclusion and clickiness. That's definitely what we want.
Yeah, and that's not Zer0 either. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Anyway, it's been a pleasure, lads. I'm gonna shoot off, man.
Yeah, we wrap this up. I gotta go bed. I'm falling asleep here.
Thanks everyone. Thanks
It's
everyone.
been a pleasure, as usual.
Yeah, thank you for everybody who showed up. This was an awesome town hall. Appreciate you all coming out.
Thank you very much. The following space will be like very soon, hopefully like in the weekend. if we can manage.
Yeah, we're going to try and be putting together the spaces and definitely more events. So yeah, there will be a lot more to bring the community together going forward. But yeah, I'm a peace out. I'm gonna say my goodbyes because, like I said, I am practically falling asleep. So everybody have a very zero night.
Good night, Irish.
Yeah.
Yeah, good night, boys.
Zero.
Thank you, brother. All the best.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. All the best.